G'day team, Coach Bits with you again today. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today's topic for discussion is mindfulness, and I'd just like to acknowledge the amazing Dr. Ken Verney, whose work and words I'll reference in this video. Now, mindfulness can be described in many ways. It's a practice of purposefully paying attention in the present moment and bringing a non-judgmental, compassionate awareness to the nature of things around us. It's a way of being, a way of relating to our inner and outer experiences and a coming to our senses, both literally and figuratively. At the same time, it is nothing at all. Nothing but a rediscovery or a remembering of our natural inborn capacity to be fully awake in our lives, in contact with things in a direct way, without the filters of concepts, past experiences, likes or dislikes. This way of seeing is immediately available to all of us at any moment. It is a universal, modern way to enhance life. Practicing mindfulness can make us calmer and more centered and improve our physical well-being. And if you are truly open to it, it can enrich your life in ways you did not think possible. Now, I know some of you, if you got this far, might be thinking, what a load of hippie hogwash. And I totally get that, because that was me just a few short years ago. Let me share a little bit of a personal insight into my story just to give you an idea. It was 2016 and I was still in the military and in a posting that no longer fulfilled me. In fact, I'd come to resent it. It took me 2 hours to get to work, 2 hours to get home each day. I just had a shoulder reconstruction and that was surgery number 11 on my body. And the thought of going through another round of rehabilitation was quite honestly depressing. To top it all off, my support person, my best friend and my partner had just deployed back to the Middle Eastern area of operations. I felt lonely, depressed, helpless, angry, and before I knew it, I'd become someone that I did not like. And let me tell you, if you've never experienced it, it's a hollow feeling when you look in the mirror and you despise the person looking back at you. I knew I had completely lost myself, and I also knew that if I didn't do something to change, I would start to lose the people around me that meant the most. Now, I'd previously tried mindfulness and meditation a few years earlier, and my experience had not been positive. And not because it doesn't work, it does, but it was because my approach to it right from the start wasn't positive. I went in thinking that there was no way it could help me, and it was just a whole heap of rubbish that pot-smoking hippies got involved in. Because I wasn't open to the experience and had prematurely convinced myself that it wouldn't work and was a waste of time, it was, of course, a waste of my time. And it did nothing to help me. Fast forward back to my most desperate point in 2016, I knew I had to do something. But this time around, maybe through sheer desperation of absolutely hating who I was open to anything. This was not who I wanted to be or how I wanted to live my life, and I was quite honestly terrified of being like this forever. So I simply just opened myself up to the possibility of mindfulness being the answer, and went about learning more and discovering ways on how I could incorporate this into my life so I could change my life. And let me tell you, I haven't looked back since. Like it was for me, the mindful way to well-being is life-changing. Alongside that, you'll actually need to become aware of any ingrained habits of mind that have stopped you so far from living life to the full. These habits can be in any form: negative thoughts, self-sabotage, putting yourself down, etc. Now, the idea of mindfulness is actually very simple. You pay close attention to an experience in the present moment, whilst allowing yourself to be open-hearted and spacious. Now, that last word does need a little more explanation. Our pure state of mind is spacious, but over time, as we accumulate life experiences and certain habits of thinking, form and solidify. For example, if you're someone that subjects yourself to regular negative feedback, or damaging self-talk, over time, that will just be a regular thing that you put yourself through each day, just like brushing your hair. Mindfulness meditation practice over a period of at least a few weeks can break down those inner structures and return us to our original openness. This is why mindfulness practice has been proven as an effective antidote to all kinds of negative mindsets, including poor self-esteem, high anxiety levels, low levels of vitality and engagement, and mild to moderate depression. It's important to note that mindfulness involves paying attention to your experiences, both good and bad. It's not a state of mystical bliss or spiritual transcendence, and it has no religious dimension. Mindfulness is not emptying the mind or stopping thinking. It is not a relaxation technique, though it will make you more relaxed as a byproduct. It is not an escape from your personality, rather it reveals us to our personality. It's not a charter for living life without planning. You can plan in a mindful way, just as you can mindfully learn from the past. Mindfulness is recognizing feelings without becoming caught up in them. It is identifying yourself as who you truly are and not identifying yourself with your feelings or your mistakes. It is living more in the moment and less in the past or the future, and it is a way to cultivate happiness that's suitable for us all. Mindfulness changes your sense of who you are in relation to your own life, and it also gives you better access to your full potential, particularly in terms of relationships and personal goals. To live more mindfully is to live more richly, with more skill, ease, and flexibility. You gain in self-understanding and can use that as a foundation for a happier life. When challenges occur or you encounter threats in your life, you'll be less likely to find them overwhelming. And when opportunities arise, you'll be able to recognize them and welcome them into your life. Habits of mind will remain, but exert less of a tug, giving you much more freedom to cultivate a healthier way of thinking. I hope that this small introduction to mindfulness has given you food for thought. In later videos, I will go through some very simple ways to incorporate mindfulness practice into your days. Until then, take care, be kind to each other, and be good. And if you can't be good at it.